Yep, it's pretty hot.
Well, it's pretty hot. That's two smacks. It's always hot.
Hell yeah.
No tooth tonight?
No, not tonight.
Yeah, I'm
He sends
not,
his love.
not happy with that fella right now.
He sends
Talk to
his.
me, Bradley.
Hello, hello. 1 2 1 2.
It was me the whole time. I'd have got away with it if it wasn't for you snooping kids.
What
What?
are you doing?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing?
I was trying to figure out what you're doing.
Oh, I don't know.
Man, I finished all 3 seasons of Yellowstone in under a week.
Did you
That's
really?
a
Yeah.
great show.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I got sucked in and I couldn't
Hey,
stop.
hey, Shailene, how are you?
What do you think about the ending?
Charlene.
The ending got me messed up.
It was
Shailene,
good. I've got
Holly,
multiple
Holly?
questions
What's up,
like
Yvette?
who was behind it, because when you got at least 3 folks,
Baby,
well, I know
be
who was behind it.
sitting here
but
waiting on you
I
to
don't-
call again.
My thing was I didn't know who was going to survive that.
Come on home
Yeah.
I don't
to
know
me,
if Beth is going to survive.
Charlene.
Surely she's dead.
Westbone.
It's actually
And
Charlene.
The old man.
Charlene.
We'll use
Kevin
Charlene.
Costner,
Yeah. I can't
Shailene.
remember his name.
he's
Oh,
got
Shailene.
Yeah.
But he got waxed by them dudes in that van.
So I'll read it.
He's got to
Come on
survive 'cause he's the
home
star of the
to
show.
me.
He has to.
And
Shailene.
then hell, you got to remember Casey.
Shailene. Shailene.
They kick in the door of his office and with machine guns.
Oh,
and he
Scott,
just
how are
hits
you,
That's
buddy?
not
Flip the
time at all,
table,
Kevin.
yeah.
takes the table up. So
Jake
there's-
Smith.
Rock and roll.
and then there's old Rip out there.
Laney
He's-
Bitter.
I have a feeling season 4 is going to be him killing a lot of folks.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough day for whoever comes across his path.
Hey, Jonathan, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you. I've just been underwater and busy. I apologize. No disrespect meant, yo.
So, Jeremy, hey, congratulations, Jeremy Taylor, 13 years of the Tullahoma Fire Department.
Word.
Hey, Bull, the power button on that TV? In between
It wasn't
spots?
working.
It wasn't working again? Okay. Hello, Daniel Barry. How are you, buddy?
What are you eating, Bull?
Man, I was dying, so I had to get some Mexican.
Oh, yeah.
Mexicano?
That TV didn't work last Thursday either, did it?
I got tally lights on. So if y'all see a tally light, camera's on. That means it's a what?
Dude, hot. Is that food good?
They what?
Is that food good?
I caught myself saying that the other day.
Oh, man.
My daughter
Good Lord.
said, "Do what?"
Sounds like it.
And I was like, "Yep." So there we go.
All right, y'all ready to do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
All right, everybody, welcome to the
next episode.
of the Everyday Joe Show. Your host, the Travis Reed. You might have heard of me before.
I never heard about it.
Chew your food.
Okay.
All right, guys, here we are. Tuesday night here at Studio 11. A little chilly up in here.
It's brisk.
It is brisk. Veterans episode. We're throwing a new one in the mix.
I'm
Once
here.
a month, man.
I'm here.
Veterans
I'm ready
episode.
for it. Yep.
Yeah. Good evening, James Sanders. Amber Uterino says Semper Fi Hola. I guess it'll be Hola Hi Semper Fi. All right, guys. So tonight we're doing lady shows once a month. We're going to put Andrew's like Lady A is really busy.
She's a
And
hard worker.
There's probably like 4 more reallys I could have put in there, but I got tired of saying the word really. So she's
hustling.
she's just on hiatus from the Tuesday shows. So I was like, you know what? Let's do a veteran show. Let's once a month talk to a vet, but not a veterinarian. a veteran.
Unfortunately, it's me.
It is Matt McCarthy, first one out of the gate. So, Matt, thanks for being here, my man.
You're welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, man.
That's
I got
fine. Yeah, I was going to say, what are you
I
drinking?
got some of that ice cold straight and narrow right here.
Oh, Common John,
Common John.
a.k.a. The Tooth.
Yeah. And speaking of tooth,
Maybe he's hiding in the loft somewhere.
I miss you, Tooth, if you're out there. If you're out there listening.
Thanks for being here. Bradley,
Hello, hello.
how are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm here. Trying
Good.
to stay warm like everybody else.
That's right. I scooted the kerosene heater over to you guys. So y'all stay warm.
I learned my lesson. I got my long johns on.
There you go.
I'm ready.
That's what took you so long to get here.
That's right.
I got mine on too.
I don't have mine on. I got this little heater over here. Hopefully it won't catch on fire like the one last night did. Yeah, that happened. It was awesome. What's up, Jeremy Davis? Bradley, thanks. Hey, what's in that can?
It is good and smart sparkling water, orange flavor.
Oh, look at there.
That's right. I'm moving up in the world.
You are, buddy.
Gone to flavored water.
You're a rebel.
That's right.
Hang around bankers.
hanging
Me
around
and Philip
bankers.
and Salmo, baby.
What's your backup over there?
Just water.
Just
regular water.
Is that the what brand though?
Clover Valley.
Clover Valley. All
I've
right.
been on the Clover Valley kick.
Yeah, no, we're gonna try to get a Clover Valley tap put in here with Kegerator.
That's right. Well, that's what I said. When
Yeah.
I noticed you had it hooked up. Give me a.
Yeah, notice nobody responded to that one. Too.
yeah, nobody thought that was funny but me. That's okay, as long as I laugh.
That's right. Thanks for being here, buddy. Bo,
What up, yo?
you get done with your food?
Still a little bit there,
Yeah.
and I'm done.
Okay, congratulations. What were you having to drink, sir?
Having mellow yellow, and I believe I'm going to roll over to a straight and narrow
Are you?
because I need to get my life on the
Straight
straight and narrow.
Well, I even have a fresh, clean glass for you here to pour it in.
We got you set up, Bull.
Yeah.
You know what? I take back everything I said about y'all earlier.
Even me?
We'll see
Debatable,
how
huh?
the show goes.
What's up, Matlock? Let me know at the end.
I'll let
What
you
up,
know
Matt
after
Locke?
it's done.
Okay. All right, I'll do my best.
Yep. Yeah. So, and if I could, I would like some iodine in it.
Oh,
sure,
don't get
you know
me
what I'm saying?
started, dude. Don't
Look,
get
man,
me started.
You're here, we might as well tap into that.
Hey, we
stash.
can talk about it if you guys want to talk about it.
Oh, Lee, I'm good.
Well, I mean, it's what saved you when you were in Nam, Agent
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Orange.
All that nuclear fallout.
Oh, Patrick Adcock says to keep you warm, drink some peach moonshine. Pineapple.
Pineapple. Ah, you beat me to it.
Ah,
We were having a conversation one evening. Some of us got together for dinner, and they brought up the iodine. I said, "Yes, this is the things that I miss when I'm at home with my kids. You have these group conversations, and I have to mute them and get to work, and then I'll just jump back in every once in a while."
Right.
And I just remember jumping in the middle of one of those, and they were talking about him drinking iodine. I was like, "Yeah, it might be a good thing I do stay at home with my kids as much as I do." I said, I don't know what these guys are getting into.
yeah. Well, thanks for being here. Do what you do.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I myself having a straight and narrow, a.k.a. The Tooth. This drink. That tasted like I gave Christian his koozie that he's been asking me about for 2 months.
He was very excited.
He was very excited, and he wasn't as salty towards me anymore.
No, he was
So-
very excited.
Yeah.
He made a point to go out of his way on Sunday to say, "Guess who has a koozie?"
Well, good, because I was getting the laser beam hate eyes when I walked through the door. Because he looked at me, I'm like, oh, I forgot his koozie again. It was sitting by the door. Like, had one on the mantle, had one sitting by the door. I always forgot it.
You were getting those Homelander eyes, huh?
Oh, yeah, boy. Man, dude was mad. But anyway, so, guys, like I said, we're going to do the Veterans Edition once a month. Just kind of get to know a veteran in the community, in the area. Of course, Matt's not from here, but he's transplanted here, so you're here now and you're stuck.
But I'm a veteran.
You are a veteran. So everybody thank Matt for his service. That's what you said in your post today.
Yeah, I know.
That's right.
That was a joke, by the way.
It was pretty funny though. It was great, man. I loved it. But seriously, I think we don't give these guys enough credit. We only give them credit on like Veterans Day. You know.
I feel like we get a little more credit than that.
Yeah. Well, it didn't seem like sometimes. You know what I mean? Just from my perspective. So I think we should be thinking every day that we're actually up here walking around getting to do what we want to do. So. I like to highlight the veterans, and they were more. I always say they're more man than I'll ever be because they actually signed up to do that on purpose, and I wasn't going to. I was like, no.
Well, and an interesting thing, that I've learned in just having some conversations with Matt, it's important to just talk to a vet, engage with a vet, and then I'm pretty sure he'll go into a little bit more of it later about that, but just talk, have them to talk, and that camaraderie.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, Matt looks better already.
Yeah, look at me. I talk a lot.
It's because you lost 4 pounds of beard.
Yeah, I know. It's a little slimmer, but hey,
But your mile times went down a little bit,
yeah,
huh?
yeah, my aerodynamics are a lot better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's like mud flaps. Yeah. Yvette said thank you for your service, Matt. She's the first one.
Yvette, you're welcome.
That's right. Oh, Matt. All right, Matt. So you've been on the show before. You know how it goes. Matt was on here before we went to the radio, and you did a great job. It was fun. We had a blast that night.
I had a blast too.
So for the people who didn't see that episode, tell everybody where you're from.
Well, I'm from California. I was born and raised there till I was 18 years old.
He did not go to Bayside High. I already asked him that question.
No. From a city called Chino Hills, which is, I think now it's on the top 100 places to live in the United States.
Really?
Yeah. But ever since it hit that list, the cost of living there is significantly increased. So, but anyway, that's where I'm from, Chino, and lived there pretty much my whole life until I was 18. Joined the Army, did just shy of 7 years, and
What made you decide to go to the Army?
to be honest, there's no like real special story.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Just like, yeah, let's in the mall. Let's
well,
go
no,
to the
I wasn't. No, honestly, it's
You can pull the mic towards you, babe.
I wasn't doing anything with my life.
Right.
I mean, that's the flat out truth. I wasn't going anywhere. I was working for a friend's dad, making some money under the table, smoking dope with friends, and just doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't. I was on the path to absolutely nowhere, and I just went down to the recruiter's office one day, and I was just like, "Hey, man, you know,
What you got?
how fast can you get me out of here?" And his
Can
name
you
was
pee clean for
his
me?
name was Sergeant Metcalf. Super cool dude. Who is now in special operations. Super cool dude. And pretty much, dude, he was just like, "We can get you out of here as soon as 2 weeks."
There you go.
And I was just like, "Okay, sign me up."
This is all the way real.
Yeah. And it never really hit me until I was actually at the airport getting ready to leave to go to Kentucky, old Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Go become a 19 Delta reconnaissance specialist.
Got a comment on the Facebook feed from Eli Kidder. He says, "F you, Matt, and your weak beard." And then he followed up with, "That was from Emma."
Oh,
Believe
yeah.
that.
I do too. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
No, I'm glad it's from Emma.
Yeah. So shipped off to Fort Knox, Kentucky. You say?
Fort Knox, Kentucky. I was there a little bit longer than the normal.
What's up, Chris?
Than the normal person would be.
Yeah, they hold you back.
No, they didn't hold me back. What happened?
This guy's
What
not
happened
broke
was
in enough.
my first duty station was Hawaii,
Right.
and Hawaii's a striker unit,
Right.
and it just so happened that the striker training was also done at Fort Knox, Kentucky. So
By
as soon
Jean-Claude
as, soon
Van
as I
Damme.
graduated, they stuck me right into another, basically like training unit. They were like, "Hey, you're going to a striker unit. You can't leave until you do strikers too." So I was like, "All right,
Sweet.
I get to stay here."
Yeah. Yay.
in this awful place.
I'm in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So when you got off the bus at boot camp, were you just like, whoa?
Yeah, we're going, what the hell did I get myself into?
Yeah. It was terrifying. Anybody who's like, "Oh, I wasn't scared," I would have hit one of those dudes. No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. As soon as you get there, you fully panic. Your heart's flooding. And these dudes are real, and they're well trained, and they're drill sergeants. They're not stupid people.
Right.
Well, plus you were a little skinny pothead.
Yeah, and I was like 120 pounds, maybe.
Right.
A lot of these dudes were way bigger than I was, which is still true. I'm still a little guy, so.
Now, I've asked this question several times to various friends and family members that were in the military, and I've gotten different answers. But was your experience like what we see in the movies, where they're in your face screaming the whole time, and it's just nonstop hell? Or I've heard, and I've had various people say yes, some say no, some say kind of in between.
Yeah, it depends. So like infantry and scouts, I think infantry does OSUT, which is an acronym for one station unit training.
Mm-hmm.
So you do Normally in the Army, you go to basic training, which I think is like 16 weeks. Or maybe it's 8 weeks. I think it's 8 weeks. And then once you do your basic training, where it's like you learn Army stuff, then you go to AIT, which is, I forget what it stands for now, but I think it's called something different actually now. But
Look at me
anyway.
knowing Army stuff, though.
Well, that's the AIT is where you go to
Learn your trade.
learn your specific Army trade, right? And for infantry and scouts, I think infantry too. I know for scouts it's 1 unit, so you do your base training and your AIT in one unit and at one station. So it's not split up.
Ah, okay.
So it's a little bit longer, and then of course if you have another school after that, then it's longer too.
Right.
So.
So you said it was kind of in between?
Yeah, I never really had like well, I mean they were in your face for sure. You know, they have their hats right there, but I mean a lot of times they say a bunch of funny stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's very chaotic. They try to confuse you, you know, and like you have no idea what you're supposed to do. They're just yelling a bunch of stuff. You don't know what it means. And you just, you know,
What's the square root of 22?
yeah.
Pah!
Yeah. And then you could literally answer anything and it's going to be wrong. Like you could literally take a ruler and make your bed perfect or have your uniform completely squared away and it's wrong. It's always wrong. You're always going to lose. You're never going to win. And that's how they break you down mentally, you know, during the whole process.
Advanced individual training.
Advanced individual training. Okay.
Yeah, that's what Andy Shelton, he was in the Army
Sure.
as well. He
Yep,
said
that sounds right. That guy's probably better than I am for sure because I can't remember anything.
Well, it's okay. Things happen.
Yeah.
No,
Andy, what's the square root of 22? We're going to 22 now.
pie?
Okay.
I just want some pie, really.
You said it twice.
I want some.
Is it
I
really pie?
want some pie.
He wants some pie.
I don't know math.
Yeah.
But no,
See, now
it's-
the
for
peanut guy
my
wants some pie
10-year-olds,
now.
I don't know either. He gave him his homework the other night and said, "Hey, Dad, you need to check that." And I was like, "Well, let me get my calculator."
Let me call Uncle Matt.
Yeah, don't
See?
call me for math. I cannot math.
Oh man. So they confuse you? Were you like, huh? What the? I don't know what I'm doing. Scared, nervous. What was the feeling?
All of them.
All of the above.
All of them. Yeah, there was actually a point. Total honesty here. There was actually a point where, after everything kind of calmed down, after the initial, they call it a shark attack, which I think they can't do now because it's too mean or something. I don't know. But basically, they stand everybody up in the hallway in your platoon, and it's in the very beginning. They basically give whoever wants to get out an opportunity to get out and go home, and there's no repercussions. There's no
Really?
nothing. Yeah. Dude, and I'm telling you right now, I was standing up on that wall after the initial shark attack, and I was just like, I'm telling you, dude, I was a hair away from being like, this is too much, dude. I'm out, and I just for some dumb reason I stayed. So
You weren't gonna let him beat you.
yeah, well, yeah,
Aaron,
they definitely beat me for sure. But, yeah.
well, you probably deserved it, really.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Aaron Carmine, he wants to know: did you have like a gunnery sergeant, Hartman, like in Full Metal Jacket? Did you have that type of drill sergeant?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every basic training. I feel like they actually place drill sergeants in different units and troops for that reason. Because if you have, like for instance, if you were to end up with all of your drill sergeants like that dude, people would start offing themselves. You know what I mean? Like there's only so much the human can take after a
Right.
certain amount of time, and you're just like, you know, you just give up basically. So they had it split up to where there were some guys who are much more reasonable, much more approachable, and then there was always one dude that everybody remembers from basic training. Like nobody, like that dude walked through the hallways. You didn't even breathe on him, like didn't look his direction, nothing, because he was always watching. He never slept. Like for sure, everybody had their stuff tight when that dude was walking around.
I wouldn't have lasted too long because I got a mouth. Bradley wouldn't have either.
I could. That's the funny thing is like now, I definitely think I could mentally I could handle it. But yeah, 18-year-old me, they'd have killed me, or they
sure.
would have broke me down. And I would have.
You saying that, I think now I couldn't. When I was 18,
Yeah.
I think because I wasn't as outgoing, I was a little more reserved when I was 18.
Yeah.
I would have took it just like yes sir. Now I'm like, what? No,
I'm not doing that.
not happening.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Brett Moore wants to know how soon were you issued your first box of crayons?
Box of crayons.
Just
Hey,
just-
that's
just
that's the
picking on
wrong
you.
branch, dude.
Yeah,
that's
that's
Marines.
Marines.
Dude.
Come on, man.
We'll have a Marine on here eventually, and
Oh, yeah.
and
I hope
And then
Chloe
you-
when she comes in, that'd be great. Have
oh
Chloe
yeah,
on here.
yeah.
Chloe
We'll bring
and
her a
Rory
box too.
While you were there, did you have it? I mean, like, was there one guy that you everybody was like, all right, this guy's not going to make it, and then like you see a
Oh, for
transformation,
sure.
and then
Oh,
at
for
the end
sure.
he's like,
Yeah.
whoa, that dude's still here.
Yeah, we had one dude that was huge, way overweight, probably like pushing 280, 300, somewhere around that range if I had to
Whoa.
guess. Huge dude, lost over 150 pounds.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was like down to like 175, 180 at some point before he left. Looked really good. Turned
Well,
it
good for
complete-
him.
Nobody thought he was going to make it because during the initial there's different phases. There's red phase, white phase, blue phase, and then there's black and gold phase. And each phase represents like different level of like they call it smokings, where you just get messed up and jacked up pretty much the whole time. Red phase is like constant 100%.
Right.
They're trashing you and whatever. And we didn't think that he was going to make it out of red phase. But sure enough, he made it. And then once white phase hit, they lightened up a little bit, and he could kind of keep it together in white phase. And he did really good, man. He did a really good job of, he just didn't quit basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a few guys like that. There was a few guys that weren't really smart. We had the ones that lacked intelligence, and you could tell them verbatim, A, B, C, D, do this, and then this.
Yep.
And they would be like, oh, like there was all those guys.
I think some of those guys worked for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Now, this is playing on a movie, but serious question. Of course, one of my favorite military movies of all time, no Bradley's too, is Full Metal Jacket. That's
Yep,
just a great.
mine too.
It's
Yeah,
a great movie.
for sure. Funny note about that before you continue.
Yeah,
That was all unscripted.
I know everything Gunnery Sergeant said was
Unscripted.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's impressive.
They tried to script it, and then he just did his own thing. They were like, "Oh, this is way better." So just keep
Well,
doing it.
I saw an interview with him where Stanley Kubrick had hired him just to be an advisor, just to watch
Oh,
and
really?
help with
Yeah.
train the actors that were being the drill
Yeah,
sergeants.
yeah.
And in between scenes, he would just jump in and start saying, "No, you do it like this." And finally, Kubrick pulled him aside and said, "I know what you're doing. You've got the part."
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's how he
Yeah.
became the dude.
Now, were there? Of course, you got private. Aaron I was private Joker. After watching that movie and then going to the military, did you see any of your guys in basic that you could like say, "Oh, that's Joker. That's Pyle." Did you have any of those guys?
No, we didn't have any nicknames.
No.
No.
You didn't have a private Pyle type.
We had some of the drill sergeants gave us nicknames. Like if somebody was really smart or really dumb, everybody knew that dude as like dum dum.
Yeah.
Or there was other names that were a little bit more colorful that I won't say on the show, but if you watch Full Metal Jacket, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We had a few of those. Yeah, we had a few of those where the names weren't given to them by the platoon mates, but they were given to them by the drill sergeants.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. I need to back up. Forgot to ask this question. Did you consider any other branch of the military other than Army?
No,
Just straight Army.
straight Army. And I couldn't tell you why. I have no idea.
Yeah.
There was no specific like, oh yeah, go Army. Marines are dumb, or there was none of that. Like
Yeah.
I was just like, Army is the closest one to my house. Probably is the only reason. That's the only reason why I went Army, dude.
I like that thinking though.
Yeah.
I'm in on that.
When you went in, did you have an idea of like what you wanted to do? Like if I join the Army, I'd like to do this, or I've got buddies that were in the Air Force. I want to work on airplane. I want to get them be trained to be a mechanic or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
I had a neighbor. I think he had just gotten out. He's a Purple Heart recipient.
Oh wow.
He had just gotten out. He was in the 82nd Airborne, and he had come home, and I was talking to him in his front yard. And I think that's pretty much when I decided I was just like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. And he was a radio operator or a comms guy, and he got stationed in the 82nd, and he was in an air cab unit in the 82nd. I don't know what unit it was, but he was in an air cab unit, and he had deployed with an air cab unit. Now I think he deployed again with a different unit. It was like not a cab unit. And when he came home, when he got out, he was like, dude, don't be anything else but scout. He was like, I've deployed with this, and I've deployed with scouts, and he was like, go with the scout unit. Those dudes are way safer to go with.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, then I'll just be that. I'll just be a scout. He was like, yeah, do that. And I was like, okay, cool.
So someone else shows your path.
Yeah, so I went to the recruiter, old Sergeant Metcalf, and I was like, I want to be a scout. He's like, what makes you want to be a scout? And one of the recruiters that was in there was like, oh, you see those cross sabers right there? I'm a scout too. That's what I'm talking about. And he was all like jacking me up, And I was just like, yeah, And then from then on, I was just like, all cab, dude.
Okay.
So
Bobby Ryan says, my boy Matt McCarthy. He's
Bobby
watching.
Ryan, oh
Yeah.
yes, Booby.
Oh, his name's Booby. Okay.
No, we call him Booby.
Well, we'll call him Booby now too.
Yeah, he lives in Vegas. He was one of the guys I went to high school with.
Oh, Vegas.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
Look at him.
All right, so we get settled in the boot camp. We go to the extra training for the striker unit. You said.
Yep.
So then we go to Hawaii.
Yep. First duty station was Hawaii, and
That sucks.
And yeah, it's horrible. It actually was horrible. Funny story is, when you get it, when once you graduate basic training and you go to a striker unit to go train on strikers, which is a vehicle, by the way.
Okay. Just about to ask that.
Drill sergeants aren't too happy when they've been trying to go to Hawaii for like 10 years or 12 years, however long they've been in.
Right.
And a private who they've been training and hate with all of their heart immediately goes to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So you don't get treated very well on your way out the door, if that makes sense. But I did get scuffed up quite a bit once the drill sergeants found out that I was going to Paradise, and they had to stay
Code
there.
Red.
Stay there.
Code Red.
Yeah. So oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
And so I got to
Hey, it's your
Hawaii.
show. What do you want to talk about?
I got to Hawaii in 2009, I think. June of 09? Yeah. June of 09. And then it was pretty much downhill from there. I mean, once you get to your unit, you just train with them.
You just go to work.
You pretty much go to work. Yeah, you pretty much go to work. You start training, and you learn like specific stuff. Like if you're slotted to go to Iraq or Afghanistan, and you know what your mission is already, they've already got a training program ready to go, and you just basically jump in on the bus, and that's it.
Wow.
So
They're ready to take you in right there.
yeah, and we ended up going to India
India.
first. Yeah.
Oh,
We went to India to go put on like a show for the Indian Army.
yeah.
It was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
What did you do?
If anybody has never been to India, those people know how to party. They legit know how to party.
They
dude.
They invented the hookah.
Yeah, and they're very segregated, like as far as officers and enlisted and all that.
Yeah.
Like they're not allowed to intermingle. Like if you're an officer, you only hang out with officers.
Oh wow.
And if you're enlisted, you only hang out with enlisted. Well, we aren't like that. And
Well, this show's
and-
like that.
and
That's
our-
why I stay on this side of the table.
Yeah,
we'll
and-
hang out with
Completely
In our-
separated from
That's why I
you
only come on
losers.
Tuesday.
And our troop commander at the time, Captain Dugatti, super squared away dude, was like, we're bringing everybody. We don't care. Like, we're not going to play your games, Like, you don't control us.
That's right.
So we all partied with the Indians, like, all night. Dude, it was awesome. It was
Sounds
awesome.
like a good time.
Oh, dude, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Andy Shelton said 25th ID.
Yep, 25th ID, 214 cab, buddy.
There you go. So he's on it.
2nd Brigade.
You're right. Andy is smarter than we are.
Who
Andy
is-
Shelton.
Andy Shelton?
His friend.
Do I know Andy?
No. I believe so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um,
Maybe I'll meet him one day.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Good guy. Good guy. So you were there? Did you go to the Pearl Harbor?
Yep. Went to Pearl Harbor.
Is that pretty cool?
I think I took Alex to go see Pearl Harbor too. Yeah, it's intense, man.
Yeah.
You know what the crazy thing about that place is?
What's that?
You go to Pearl Harbor and there's nothing but Japanese people.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. The first time I went, it was nothing but Japanese people,
Huh.
and I got nothing against Japanese people. I mean, history is history. You know, it's actually water under the bridge. But like, I was just shocked to see. Well, I guess now that I think about it in retrospect, Hawaii is actually a very there's a lot of Orientals there in Hawaii, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Just because it's expensive and generally they're smarter, so they make a lot of money, and so they go to Hawaii because it's, I don't know. But there was a lot there, and I was just like, oh, what are you guys doing here? You know,
Yeah.
like that was my initial reaction. Like,
Yeah.
they're probably like, oh, my uncle is like down in there somewhere in his plane, a kamikaze plane, or I don't know. It was weird. I was a little shocked.
It is. It is.
Is that on a postcard?
Yeah. Andy said he was in the 25th in Afghanistan in 05.
Afghanistan in 05 was probably a hell of a time.
Think so?
It was probably a hell of a time. Yeah. Afghanistan in 05. Yeah. I'm glad I wasn't there. I didn't get to Iraq until 2000, I think 10 or 9 or something like that. I can't remember now, but
You missed its heyday.
Afghanistan was popping in 05, dude. Yeah.
We'll definitely get to there. I do want to ask this. I thought about this the other day. Is since you were in Hawaii and you saw the Pearl Harbor thing, and of course, with us going to school and learning history, we know when Pearl Harbor Day is. Do they teach that to you guys in boot camp, AIT, as you go along, or they you just better know it?
The Army doesn't really teach Army history.
Right.
Like, it's not like, they teach, like, unit history, what that unit's done, what that unit's been through, like the unit crest, you better know. The unit crest is what goes on your beret, goes on your Class A uniform. Like 25th ID, that's the infantry division. So your unit, like 214 Cav, has its own specific unit crest.
Right.
But they don't teach like Army history. They don't teach that kind of stuff. I mean, some commanders, like some officers and stuff, will use history as like a lesson, like when it comes to strategy and stuff like that, when they're trying to come up with battle plans and all this other stuff, they can kind of reference it. But as far as like, memorizing dates and all that kind of stuff, I mean, whatever you know is what you know.
Right. So that's a dumb question by me. Okay.
No, it wasn't a dumb question. It's just something that they don't teach.
Really?
in the Army.
I figured
Yeah.
they would just to kind of smarten you up a little bit.
They don't care if you're smart.
No?
No.
I thought that was the Marines.
No.
So what you're saying is he asked a stupid question.
No,
and he's a
absolutely not.
stupid person.
Okay, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then.
Well, it's okay. It happens. Usually Bull asks the dumb questions. Bradley asks the really smart questions, and I'm kind of like in between.
That's fine.
And then Tooth's is here for laughs.
We got the yin and the yang, my left and my right.
That's right. That's right. What's Bull?
Bull
He's the rear end.
Bull is the.
I don't want to watch anybody pull on anybody's yang or a yang. This
Wow.
is a kid show.
While Bull is bringing up the rear end.
There you go.
Is that correct? I think that's right.
In the rear with the gear.
So how was Hawaii?
Hawaii was cool.
How long were you there in Hawaii?
I was in Hawaii from June of 2009 till June of 2012. Right? Yep, 2012. So 3.5 years, something like
okay.
that. Almost 4 years, I think.
Did you learn to surf?
But no. I'm from California too, and I can't surf, so it's
So you're
not
like all the way Howley.
yeah, it's not for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
Howley. But I was there for almost 4 years. But Hawaii is an interesting place because it's a United States. It's one of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, when you live there, it feels different.
Yeah, it's because they have no voting rights.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's weird, man. It almost feels like a different country. I don't want
Right.
to go as far as like claiming that, but they have a completely different culture from the United States. Like the Hawaiian culture is way, way different from anything that I was used to. And I live near the beach. They live near the
Right.
beach. It's an island, so there's water everywhere. And I just kind of had this idea of like, oh man, it's gonna be so awesome. Everything's gonna be beautiful. And like everybody's gonna be like, oh, shoots, brah, oh, cool, brah. No, it wasn't like that at all.
Now, were the natives, were they cool with you guys, or were that? Because
Some of them were.
I have a cousin that was in the Air Force and he was stationed there, and he said he almost felt like an outsider, but he's a little standoffish anyway. So
You do feel like an outsider. There's the hardcore, like, this is my island and you don't belong here kind of mentality from some of the younger cats, but a lot of the older cats that are like kind of like old school, humble. Like you didn't really want to like offend them because you kind of had respect for them.
Right.
But they didn't disrespect you. They weren't trying to fight you. Like a lot of times there were some places where you couldn't even go downtown by yourself because they would spot your military haircut and you would just get beat up.
Really?
Like legit. Local Hawaiians would just go around looking for soldiers to beat up that are by themselves.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's not everything it's hyped up to be.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of dudes that I knew that got hurt,
Wow.
got in fights. Samoans, they're big.
Yeah.
They
Samoans
breed
are-
them big down there.
Samoans are
Yeah.
tough folk too.
Yeah, and they're
Well,
no
plus-
joke. They are straight up warriors. Like the
Haka.
Hawaiian culture and the Samoan breed, like they are legit have a warrior mentality. Like this is my island, we fought for it, and you don't belong here. Try me. Yeah.
No.
Well,
Yeah,
it's also
no.
it's split. There's not really a middle class. There's just poor and then
sure.
the haves.
For sure.
The people on vacation spending a lot.
It is
Right.
100%
Yeah.
poor or you're straight balling.
Yeah, and Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
He's in somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's
that's
still
our point
there,
of
but-
reference, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
That's where he works at sometimes.
Yeah.
I saw that season.
But Hawaii was interesting.
It was beautiful.
They're super beautiful. A lot of cool places to see. But everything's expensive. I can't remember what it was when I was there, but a pack of cigarettes was close to $10. Maybe it was more than $10.
Whoa.
Jeez, that long ago and it was $10.
A gallon of milk was $8. Yeah, it's whew,
See, we had one of
pricey, dude.
I turned down going to Hawaii.
You told me that. Yeah.
And really wish I'd have went now. But one of our stores over there does just millions of dollars a year. And I'm like, well, it's probably just like us, but their prices are probably so high because of
Hawaiians
everything over
love
there.
cars, dude.
Yeah.
They are legit car people.
My people.
I
are-
cannot tell you how many rice burners and lifted trucks and most of the car guys aren't rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
They're like us, regular folk with some
regular
cars.
folks
Yeah.
who love working on cars, love customizing their stuff. Hawaiians are no exception, dude. Like they legit work on their
Yeah.
cars. They build them. They love drifting and like racers and all that other stuff.
Heck yeah.
But
So good car scene.
oh, for sure, good
Yeah.
car scene. Yeah,
Heck yeah,
for
man.
sure.
So you keep referring to your beautiful bride over here. Now, were you guys together when you enlisted?
Yes. Well, we got married. I joined in 08 and we got married in 2010. So I was in for about a year and a half,
Okay.
almost 2 years before we got married. And then she came to Hawaii after I got home from Iraq. So
Okay. So she was along for the whole ride.
yeah, she was along for half
Or
the
most
ride
of
in
it.
Hawaii. Yeah.
Oh, and happy
long
anniversary
were
the
you
other
there?
day.
That's right.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, she was there for about half the time. I was there for about 4. She was there for about a year and a half, almost 2.
Did you smack him upside the head when he said he was joining the army? Or did you say go?
I didn't tell anybody.
No, really?
Yeah, I just left. Like I said, man, it was 2 weeks and I was just like, sign on the dotted line. Here you go.
Gone.
Yeah, some people didn't even know I was gone. Like I came, or like I was having a going away party, and people were like, "What? Where are you going?" Like, yeah, it was weird. Like I didn't want to like put it out there and be like, "Oh, I'm so sad, and I'm leaving." I wasn't trying to do all that.
Right.
I just
That's
like,
probably a good thing you did it quick too, so you didn't have time to mull
just
it
nip
over.
it in the
Yeah,
butt.
let's just
Yep,
do
gone.
this.
Yeah,
Smart.
yeah.
Smart. We give you credit for it's not I
Dude,
done.
I'm telling you, I was ahead of my time.
You were. You still are. I think.
I got a few good ideas in there somewhere.
You do. Oh, yeah, that really good one. Chris Ferris says Hawaiians often refer to us as Howley.
Yep, that's accurate.
They really didn't want mainlanders there. Chris was in the Air Force, I believe. Is that correct, Chris? He lives over there.
Okay.
Right over there.
Holler at his front door.
Another fun fact about Hawaiians is they like to spend a lot of time in Vegas. Like their vacation spot
Is Vegas?
is Vegas.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
That is weird.
Yeah, very weird. And I don't know why, but I guess trips to Vegas from Hawaii are like really cheap.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know if that's accurate. or not.
We live in this beautiful area, so let's go sit in a smoky casino for 8
I
days.
guess.
That
I don't
sounds
know.
awesome.
I don't know if
what's
they
up, Bo
love it.
Burchell? Marine. Jarhead. As you're affectionately known. I can say that because we're friends.
Jarhead. Oh, Manny's here. What's up, Manny?
Yeah.
Manuel?
How was the food there in Hawaii? What'd you think about it?
Well, a lot of sushi,
Yeah.
which I'm not a huge fan of.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Okay, so I'll
took you as a
I'll
sushi
eat,
fan.
I'll eat some sushi.
Yeah.
Some sushi. If it's cooked
Some sashimi.
well, put together well, I'll do it. And if it doesn't look like a octopus that was just killed, I'll probably eat it.
Or it's still trying to get away.
Yeah, I'm not down for that. Not down for that at all. But they like spam and musubi, and like you could go to the McDonald's there in Hawaii and you could order like the local special. You just say I want the local special, and it's
Yeah.
like spam and musubi and eggs and some other Hawaiian, I don't know, pineapples or something. I don't know.
That's funny.
But like legit, McDonald's had like a local special there.
A lady that I work with, her husband has family in Hawaii. That's when she mentioned that to work one day. She was like, "Yeah," she goes, "They love spam in Hawaii."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
don't
And
know
then
why,
you said
dude.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've
it's weird.
heard that before, and I thought it was just like a just a rumor. Or what
Yeah,
have
you know, like spam and musubi is like a slice of spam. It's got like some seaweed, or it's wrapped in seaweed, and it's like rice on top. It's just rice and spam.
Rice with spam wrapped in seaweed.
Yeah, there you go.
rice spam wrapped in seaweed.
Yep.
I'd probably take a bite.
Yeah.
They're good.
So one of the dudes
Wrap
that
it
was
in bacon,
in my
probably
platoon,
better.
his name was Nakashima, and he missed spam and musubi so much that he had it mailed to him in Iraq.
What?
Yes, dude. They love that stuff. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy, but they're nuts about it.
Wow.
Nature's own. That's
Bo Burchell said food was pretty awesome in Hawaii. L&L Drive-In was his place.
L&L
And
driving.
he said there's one in Franklin now.
L&L. That's not ringing any bells.
know.
I don't know. We lived on the North Shore. We didn't go down to like Mililani or Waikiki, which is like downtown Hawaii.
Right.
We kind of just stayed up there and ate off the gut trucks and.
Gut trucks.
Well, they're not gut trucks. They have like shrimp trucks there, and
Oh.
they're delicious.
Dude, that'd be fire
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
I'd be in on that.
Was the food in boot camp, was that awful as they make it out to be, or was it
No,
decent?
man, dude, the food in boot camp was honestly, well, you have to understand my upbringing in order to realize why I would say that. But the
Right.
food was actually pretty good. You know, I grew up eating like Little Caesars pizza all the time as
Yeah.
much as I could. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh man, we get to pick whatever we want. You know, like it's a buffet, and you go through the line, and you have to stand there still, and she just basically points at it, and you just nod or wink or do something. She's just like smack, you know, and just throws it on your tray. But it's just like French toast, bananas, oatmeal. Dude, there was like a plethora of stuff. Breakfast was obviously the best.
That's
There
better
was-
than a continental breakfast at the Holiday Inn, you
Oh,
know?
dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
They put some. I heard that they put some like special stuff in it to
Yeah, Peter.
back you up, so you don't have to go to the bathroom as much.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I heard they
don't know.
put stuff in there to make you not feel as randy, if you will.
Yeah, I heard that too. I
Saltpeter
heard that
or something
too.
like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. But still a rumor. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a
I
rumor when-
cannot
when-
confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were
Cannot
still
confirm.
Randy while serving.
Oh yeah, the dudes would get caught jerking it all the time in the closet, dude. Just like, oh man, I miss my girlfriend or something. You know, it's just
So,
like,
and
dude, there's like
obviously-
80 dudes right here. Stop it.
They've been running for 16 hours straight, but still got time for
Yeah.
that.
That's right.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
18 years old for you.
Yeah. At 42, I'm going to bed. Thinking about it makes me tired.
We had some dudes that were in the 40s, I think, or late 30s.
Rock dog. Really?
Yeah, I think so.
That just enlisted?
Just enlisted in basic training.
Well, I mean, Chris Kyle, how old was he when he enlisted?
I think he was 20 something.
Oh, was
Yeah,
he
you can
20
be-
something?
yeah,
Okay, I thought they made jokes
You
about
can be
calling
up
him
to,
an
I
old
think,
man.
37, almost 40.
Yeah, it's close to 40.
And even if you're 40, I think there's a waiver. As long as you're like fit and
Right.
you're jacked, they'll be like, yeah,
well.
give it a shot. You know,
I'm screwed.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Can't
There's
go
a
now.
waiver for everything.
That's
Only
right.
the best of the best.
Yeah.
Big Al says false on on the saltpeter thing.
On the what?
On the saltpeter.
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't confirm it or,
What's up, Gar?
or deny it.
Grady
I think,
Allen
it's a
Rutledge.
I think it's more of a prison thing. I've always heard
Probably.
that.
Yeah, I would hope that they would do it in there.
He's with Grady Allen Rutledge watching. He's a former Air Force. We got all these guys coming
Nope,
in here
Angela
tonight.
Coleman Gray is watching. Oh, Angie.
All these former
Hi,
ones.
Angie.
Chris Ferris said he did a few luau's while he was there. The roasted pig was awesome, and all you could drink Mai Tais. That's like a good party right there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to leave.
Speaking of Angie Gray, she's married to a Navy veteran who was in Vietnam.
Really?
Yeah, he's Justine's dad. Angie is Justine's mom. You guys met
Yeah,
Justine?
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
when she
yeah.
came out here. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome girl.
He's one of my favorite Vietnam vets.
yeah.
Yeah. I used to go and just randomly visit them in their backyard and go talk with them.
Right.
You know, as veterans do, we try to
Right.
we try to have a chat every now and then. But he's an awesome dude.
You know, Eli's dad's Vietnam vet.
I think he did say that.
Purple
I knew
Heart.
he was in the Army, but I
Yeah.
didn't know if he was a
Yeah.
Nom or not.
But yeah, he was a
My
Nom. Purple Heart. Got shrapnel on the hind end.
No kidding.
Yes, sir.
Yep, my father, he was in 3 years. Purple Heart.
How did I know that?
Yep.
I've known Phil T since I was 8 years old. How did I know
You know,
that?
well, what's weird is he hated talking about it younger, and then now, as he gets older, every now and then he'll let some of it slip out,
Right.
and then I mean it gets to him.
Yeah.
It
See,
gets to him bad.
Nom was a different. It's funny because I talked to Popeye, which is Justine's dad, the one that I'm talking about. He said, I think he said, war is all the same, but war is different. You know, just depending on the time, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the Vietnam veterans would be like, "Oh, we don't know how you guys do it," and all the Iraq, Afghanistan vets are like, "Oh, we don't know how you guys did it." You know,
Yeah.
and they're just like, "War is the same, but it's different."
yeah, see,
If that makes sense.
yeah, Dave, he wouldn't really talk about it a lot. The only time he would, was watching Good Morning Vietnam at his house when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he'd tell us a few stories here and there about them barbecuing and,
Yeah.
getting the Budweiser, just palletfuls of Budweiser and just cracking. They had the old pull tabs. They didn't have the,
Yep,
cans
yep.
like we do now. And they sat there and you might hear a stray bomb way over there,
yeah.
but they're just throwing up ribs on the grill, kick back some Budweisers. But he wouldn't talk about the bad stuff. When he got
Right.
when he got injured, I've never heard that story. And I've known him since I was
Yeah.
4 years old. So
Yeah, Phil was an engineer.
really,
He was one of the
What's
guys
up,
that went
Allison?
out looking for bombs and all that other stuff.
wow.
Yeah.
And then he operated heavy machinery and built roads and all that.
Yeah, they needed a lot of engineers in Nam. I
Yeah.
can just imagine like jungle warfare
Oh, dude.
is terrifying, dude.
Oh, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
Cannot do it. Sorry. So after Hawaii, where'd we go? Fort Hood.
Yeah, we PCS to Fort Hood, good old first Cav, and it was an interesting first. If anybody in the audience is listening that has been stationed at Fort Hood, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Fort Hood is like the Army juggernaut base. Like it's huge.
Chad.
It is. Well, I think it's actually the biggest military base in the free world. Like it's the biggest.
Well, Texas.
It's Texas.
Of course it's gonna be. Yeah.
It's got to be in
I mean-
Texas. But when I got there, I went from a striker unit in Hawaii, which is pretty much it's a light unit. Hawaii is not a heavy unit, whereas like heavy is like tanks and Bradleys. If you know what those are,
Yep.
you know what Bradleys are, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
You say right there.
Sitting right
Yeah,
beside
yeah,
you.
he's sitting right here. We got a Bradley right here. but when I first got there, it was weird, man, because once I got to the unit that I was going to, I was like, I was told we were slotted to go to Afghanistan within, I don't know, 6 or 8 months or something like that. Our brigade was slotted to go, and they had just gotten home from NTC, National Training Center, which is out in California. And I don't know if you can like call it a fail or a failure, but the reason units go to NTC in order to get certified to go downrange. And if you go to NTC, and I guess you call it a failure to like pass or get certified, basically you aren't certified to go downrange, so you don't go. Well,
Right.
they failed, and they were like, yeah, they're giving our slot to some other brigade that's more squared away than we are. And I was like, that doesn't sound like a unit I want to be in. Like, this sucks. Like right out of the gate, I was like, this sucks, dude.
I'm out.
Yeah. And so I got there, and there was just a bunch of stuff, dude. Everybody was out of shape. Everybody was overweight. The leadership was toxic.
Oh, so it's like coming to Manchester.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm just
No,
kidding. Our
no,
leadership's
yeah.
good. We are out of shape, though.
Yeah. But no, it was a different ball game because in Hawaii it was much more squared away. The leadership was awesome. Leadership was great. And then I went to this place and it was less great. I will say there was a lot of good dudes there that just got jumbled in together with some of the not so good ones, if to put it mildly.
Right.
And when you have that, there's a lot of headbutting. There's a lot of like me trying to protect me, and other dudes were like trying to crush you. And everybody wants to be a superstar. Everybody wants to be in the spotlight. Like, ooh, look at
Right.
me. I'm the super soldier or whatever.
Right.
There was a lot of that going on before. Like when I got there, that was already a thing.
Yeah.
And of course, I fell victim to it too. I wasn't about to be the guy that's like slacking off and doing all that other stuff. There was quite a few NCOs in our unit that were out of shape and weren't passing the PT test like they were supposed to, and I was the mean, young, hungry E5 that just got home from a deployment. I was injured over there. I was trying to work through getting better and getting back into shape. So I was driven,
Right.
and I was looking forward to meeting some new guys and getting after it, and it just wasn't that.
So Fort Hood was after you already went to Afghanistan or Iraq?
Iraq, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
Fort Hood, I came home from Iraq, went back to Hawaii, stayed there for
Okay.
I think a year or something, and then I went to Fort Hood.
We'll have to jump at the Wayback Machine here in a minute. I do have some Chad Gill, I believe you're retiring this year, right, Chad? Or next year? He wants to know when you were at First Cav. When you were
I was in First Cav from June of 2012 to May of 2015.
all right. He said, "What BDE be in?"
I was in First Cav, 2nd Brigade, 3rd Battalion. I was in 3-8 Cav. 3-8 Cav. I don't know. It's huge there, dude. I can't remember. It was 5 years ago.
Yeah, he said Fort Hood has the biggest training area, and that's why it's the biggest.
Yeah. Their
And-
training area's footprint is
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah. He said he spent 8 years at Fort Hood.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Right. And then he said,
Is that Chad Gill?
Chad Gill.
Ooh.
Yeah.
8 years. 8 years of Fort Hood will hurt a man.
He said, means you as a unit meet the T's, meaning train in your 8 categories of training. Your unit went to meet or didn't meet. He works in OPS group at Fort Polk training just like NTC, and he retires in August.
Oh, yep. Fort Polk. I went down to Fort Polk, Louisiana, while I was at Fort Hood to go be an OC down there. They have a huge training facility similar to NTC, but because of it costs the Army less money to ship them there. Like if they're at Fort Bragg, they just go to Louisiana instead of all the way to California.
Right.
So I got picked to go be an OC down there and go train guys to go to Afghanistan and Iraq, and that was cool. That was cool. I actually learned more. Of course, everybody learns more training somebody versus being the guy that's getting
Right.
trained. Right? You're getting trained. It's like drinking like a fire hose versus the guy who's actually doing the training. You're like, oh, this is easy because you're not stressed about failing. You're just telling, hey, do that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's way easier, you know. But you actually do. It's kind of cool because you learn a lot more, I think, showing people how to do it versus trying to do it yourself.
That makes sense.
That was fun.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
And that was old Fort Polk, Louisiana, 27 Cav. I said I left 27 Cav in August 2010. Yep, I hadn't got there yet, Chad. I was not there until 2012.
So you go Hawaii, deployed in Iraq.
Yep,
How was that?
that was horrible. Yeah, yep, that was horrible.
The pamphlet lied.
See, that was a dumb question right there. I should.
Yeah,
that was-
pamphlet lied.
Luckily, the leadership that we had going there, we had Colonel Eisenhower, Command Sergeant Major Torres, and then our troop commander was Captain Dugatti. I think he was still there when we deployed, but we also had First Sergeant Winnigan, who was, man, you want to talk about walking with some giants. These dudes that I had, I consider myself to be super lucky because not everybody gets some of the best leadership the Army has to offer first. You know, normally you get a bad experience and then you go to some good leadership. I had it the other way around, where the first unit that I went to had some of the best dudes I ever worked with by 10 miles.
Did you ever work under Captain Savaho?
I did not. No.
Okay, I was just curious. They claim he was a little weak.
That's where Bull got all his learnings.
Yeah, yeah, it shows.
It
shows.
Should I save a?
Bull still can't do it right. So
Yeah,
he's
but
tried.
luckily when we deployed to Iraq, we were all really comfortable with each other. I'm telling you, man, the leadership that I had made it to where I literally was less scared of going to Iraq than I was in basic training. Just simply because the leadership was that
Right.
good.
You knew they were. You felt like
These
they were.
dudes were squared away.
They're taking care of you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's how you felt.
For sure. I knew that no matter which direction I was facing, there was a dude behind me that was ready to maul and do crazy
So the
things.
whole saying of "I'd go to war for that guy,"
for sure.
that was true for
For
them.
sure, yeah.
Gotcha.
And so Iraq itself wasn't fun, obviously. I don't think it's fun for anybody unless you. I don't think it's fun for anybody, really.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't last very long there.
Yeah. No, you'd be all right.
I don't know.
How long were you there?
I was there for 11 months. So I came home early because I messed up my back pretty good. And so they sent me home a month early. The typical deployment's 12 months.
Right.
So I came home month 11, and I went to Germany, launch school. I think I was there for 2 weeks or something. Anyway, they medevaced me out of the country, and they flew me to Germany, which is like the halfway point between the U.S. and Iraq. And then I was there. I was getting medical treatment while I was in Germany, and then I came back home to Hawaii after that. But I stayed in Germany for a little while. They wanted to make sure I was stable and that there wasn't anything like super major, like life-threatening, because it was a back injury. But, anytime that there's like limbs, like if you become paralyzed, or you're going to lose a limb or the function of a limb, eyesight, or I think it was like life, limb, or eyesight was like the three major things. So if if your back's jacked up and you can't really function, your legs hurt, or they're just like, all right, you're done. So they sent me out of there.
Nope.
Now, what would be a typical day in Iraq? Like you're there. I mean, because all I know is what I've seen. I mean, obviously you're not just out.
Did you watch The
shooting
Outpost?
No, I did
And
not.
I'm not saying that my deployment was like The Outpost. It wasn't even close to being that bad. Those dudes had it bad. But it's a pretty accurate representation of like what we wear. We would go out to checkpoint, which is similar to their setup, where you have like a designated area, battle positions on the north and south ends. And, there's concertina wire everywhere. HESCO barriers are those big square-looking things that have sand filled in them. So it's pretty much that. And we go out there for, 4 days. I think it was like 3 or 4 days or something like that. And then basically we ran bilateral checkpoints with the IA, the Iraqi army, and so we were essentially, our job was to train them to defend themselves. Pretty much was our main function. But we were in the Diyala province, which was pretty close to the Iranian border. I don't know. But one of the main problems that they were having in the Diyala province was they were getting supplies from Iran, is what it was. They were supplying Al Qaeda from over in Iran. All the supplies were coming through, so they had positioned us in an area where they, a main supply route coming from Iran to try to stop it. So they put our unit right in the middle. So it was like one of the last strongholds in Iraq for Al Qaeda, and so it was fun. Kinda.
I think you're lying.
Yeah.
Chad said he spent 64 months in Iraq.
64 months total. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, I know a lot of guys that deployed 15 months at a time, 18 months at a time.
He wanted to know what your MOS was.
19 Delta Scout.
There you go. He said he was in Diyala, 06 to 08, 15 months.
Diyala.
Man, I couldn't imagine being gone that long.
Yeah, it was not fun when I got there in 2009 or 10 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Still sucked.
I'm still intrigued by you were a buy unit. So you're a buy unit that
Bilateral,
was training
people
to take care of themselves.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it
So did y'all
that
face
made
any
it worse. That
troubles as a buy unit?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I believe that.
Because there was
and
a lot
so,
of
there was
a lot of dudes.
well because they were a Muslim country.
Yeah, there was a lot of dudes that were jacked up
See where he's going.
on drugs and
Iraqis?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
They would like show up for formation like hammered.
Really?
Or like tweaked out on meth or like some random stuff, and you're like there to train them on like PT and like teach them how to do jumping jacks. Like it's amazing how uncoordinated these dudes are. Like it's literally like you wanna kick your like dog. You know what I mean? You want like.
Well, I mean, being a buy unit, it's a confusing time, and drugs could help you through it.
Yeah, there was a lot of corruption there. A lot of corruption.
Bull is loving himself over there.
Yeah,
right now.
I have no idea what he's saying.
Bye.
He's making a sexual orientation. I'm trying to keep it serious over here.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention to you,
Jeez.
Matt. I'm ignoring that guy.
Hey, he said the word buy. It was a buy unit.
Yeah.
Boy, you're so pretty.
Yeah, opium. Yeah. Andy Shelton said opium.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes jacked up on opium, especially Afghanistan. Opium was like
Yeah, that's their cash crop. That's their.
Keenan Hall. Look at that tater. That's my buddy right there. He was with me in Fort Hood. Keenan Hall.
They said he was there all of 2019.
Who?
Keenan said.
Keenan. Where did he say? He was there all 2019? Oh, I don't have that one yet.
Oh, I got super.
I don't know
fast
if he
one.
was in Iraq or Afghanistan. I'm pretty sure he was in Afghanistan.
Okay.
But I want to say he was with the 101st out of Kentucky.
Now, I'm not going to mention who the person was, but I was speaking with a gentleman, and he literally said his job was to protect the opium fields that were supplying them to the pharmaceutical companies in the States.
Yeah,
And he
there's-
said, I felt like he goes, I was being paid by the taxpayers, but I was guarding opium fields for Big Pharma.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I know Brian was there. I don't know if they were protecting the opium fields, but there's basically opium everywhere there. Like it's rampant, and so some of them partake and some of them don't. But it's definitely a problem.
Chris Ferris says.
I never thought about that. It never crossed my
Yeah,
mind.
drugs are bad.
I never thought the Iraqis would have been, jacked up on opium and what have you.
They're jacked up on everything, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where the hookah come from.
It's bad.
Well, yeah,
there.
but
Like, I mean, it's bad everywhere. The thing is they don't have any pride. They have no pride in their country.
right.
A lot of the dudes
Well-
that are there are actually Al Qaeda fighters, and they literally, like, you can just sign up to be in the army there. There's no background check. There's no training. There's no basic. There's no
warm bodies.
They just basically give you a uniform. They give you a rifle, and they just wear like jacked up T-shirts with their uniform over it and their man sandals, and and then they show up and they're drunk or they're high or or whatever, and then they once they get off duty for the day, they go home and they make IED bombs, or whatever. Like,
Right.
and you have to train them.
And smoke hookahs.
Like there's a lot of stuff that
It'd be
happens.
frustrating.
You can't know. You can't know.
I would imagine you guys.
You just hope that one of them doesn't blow your brains out when you're sitting there trying to make them do jumping jacks.
That's
all
what I
day,
was about to say. I would be uncomfortable.
Because they got guns too. They walk around
Yeah.
with AK-47s, and I mean, it's just,
Yeah, it's extreme uncomfortable.
I mean,
that's-
is
for
that-
sure.
Did that happen? I mean, obviously you guys would be concerned about it. Did you ever have one where you were like, okay,
Yeah, DL
This-
100 first. I got you.
this guy's dangerous, or I mean, did
Oh,
someone
yeah,
ever
we-
do anything?
Oh, for sure. We always had our eyes open for certain dudes, and we had this thing called the hide where it would scan their retina, and then it would log their retina scan, and so we freaking hided everybody. We were like, dude, if you at one point got caught up doing some shady stuff, either getting bombs or planting bombs or burying bombs on the side of the road, and I got scanned, and now you're wearing a uniform, this little machine is going to tell me that. So get over here right now and look at me.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they did in the outpost. They did a little
The
machine.
hide, the scan.
Yeah, and they were like,
We
"Oh,
had
this
those.
guy had
Those are legit.
he had like some kind of residue on him, or whatever it was." And they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, your son did this." And he turned his rifle in and stuff.
Yeah.
Then they had the little cat that was taking pictures of the base there in that movie.
Yep.
And I guess that
That's
was
legit.
Shwoo-wee.
legit.
Or y'all could have just done like Jamie Foxx, look for the guy missing a thumb.
Huh?
Oh my God.
I don't remember that
Again,
episode.
this is
of-
no
I'm
Raven.
missing the reference. That's all. I heard you, but I don't.
Jamie Foxx, he was the command leader whenever they were hunting down and looking for the bomb maker. And he was,
In what movie?
What movie?
I don't know, now I gotta Google it.
See, you don't even know. Chris
I
Ferris.
know that they was looking for a guy missing a thumb.
Chris Ferris, he was in the Air Force. He said our deployments were typically 90 days to 6 months. First deployment was 10 months when the shock and awe phase started. We delivered the 82nd Airborne.
Yeah,
Guess
we were.
that was
we were
early.
there.
Guess that was 01.
Yeah, that was in the initial push.
Yeah.
Those are rough times.
Yeah.
You couldn't be there for more than 6 months during those times.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Jack Gill says, Matt, he's a 13F MOS.
13 Foxtrot, baby. That's
Is that how you have to say it?
I want to say 13 Fox Forward Observer. Do I have that right? Forward Observer. Who was that?
Chad.
Chad.
Yeah, Chad sounds like a bad man now that we get to know him here.
Forward Observer. Those are, I want to say they work with like fast movers and they call for fire. I think. I don't know. He'll probably tell me in the comments.
Big Al says Jarhead.
Was it Jarhead?
Yeah, that's what Big Al says.
Okay.
There you go. All right. So, Iraq sucked. Hot.
Extremely hot and extremely cold.
Yeah, at our night timing, it's freezing, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, dude. The wintertime was like single digits. I mean, it's like it is here. Mm-hmm. But the summertime sucked because, you're in the belly of a striker, and it's 110 degrees outside. In the belly of the striker, it's 120 or 130 in there. So it's just like you can't run the AC because the engine will overheat, and then you're down in the middle of nowhere. And
Well, we got to get different thermostat in them things or something.
they're pretty good, man. It's just really
the
hot.
operating temperature's probably like 195 or something. You put like a 160 thermostat in there, maybe you could run that AC.
I'm pretty sure they took the thermostat
was the
out
Hurt
of
Locker.
our strikers, and they just run it full
Big Al, it
cool.
was the Hurt Locker. That's what one. It was the Hurt Locker.
Oh, the Hurt Locker.
The Hurt Locker. That's the one it was.
Jamie Foxx wasn't in the hurt.
It wasn't Jamie Foxx. It was Anthony Mackie.
Okay, that's
Okay.
where you
so
threw
you
me.
straight up lied to everybody here.
Well, I mean, that's what I do some of the time.
That's true.
Because I remember Jamie Foxx from Jarhead, but I was like, they were never on a mission looking for a guy missing a thumb. And then you said Hurt Locker, well, Jamie Foxx wasn't in. All right.
Chad
Well,
said that.
confusing me over here, man.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Chad said that
Test you all.
that we bring the heat. That's what he said that he did.
They bring the heat.
Bring
They
the
bring
heat.
the rain.
Had somebody on the Facebook live feed say Matt's Tennessee accent's coming in nicely.
It's coming in nicely. Do what?
There
I'm
you
practicing.
go. There you go.
Oh yeah,
You're doing good.
I'm
What is his
practicing.
favorite term?
yeah. Do what?
You got to emphasize the H.
Jesse called me an idiot.
Now, if
Well,
you want a
she's not wrong.
Tennessee accent, you need to meet Bradley's brother.
Oh.
I told him with it what he needs to get with y'all one Saturday and load up and just come out to the farm, pack the cooler, and we'll go sit in the shop and talk to Pop. And
Bring Pops a carton of
meet
beer, a
Nicholas
bottle of
and-
wine.
Can you be the translator? Because I guarantee
yeah.
I'll miss a few words.
Oh yeah. Well, it's much better now. My brother would he drank required a translator.
Yes.
Absolutely required a translator.
Really?
The
Even
later-
for you needed a translator?
No, I would have to translate for him because I grew up with him, so I spoke drunk Nicholas.
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah.
But that's no joke.
The problem was none of us spoke drunk Bradley.
Yeah.
So
Nicholas and I knew what was going on.
You had your own language, huh?
yeah. Chad says we as an occupation go to the front, find the enemy, and back the coordinates, and then either call for artillery or CAS to drop the bombs on them. Vietnam had his job. His job had a 14-minute lifespan.
Yeah, you want to know what it is for a scout?
You told me, but I forgot. It was stupid.
This is less than 3 seconds.
Yeah. Wow. Shoo-wee. Man, Jimmy Saw, what's up, brother? Andy Shelton says 13B, red leg, he says.
13 Bravo? I don't.
Red leg. I don't know what red leg means.
13 Bravo.
I'm learning all kinds of stuff tonight. The bull doesn't
Yeah,
know
there's probably
movies.
a bunch of Army dudes out there
Making
or
it-
military cats that are like throwing out all these acronyms, and it's just like, it's been 5 years, man. Bear with me, okay?
Yeah.
I might butcher this stuff, but
I ain't had my iodine yet today.
I ain't had my done.
My iodine. So, Iraq, we get injured.
Texas. Yep, injured. Come home, back to Hawaii, do a little bit of rehab, then I PCS to Texas.
Texas, Fort Hood. Where we go after Fort Hood?
We went to Fort Couch.
Fort Couch.
Yeah.
I heard that's not a very big place, is it?
No, but it's free
It's free?
if you're at your in-laws' place for
Yeah,
sure.
Is
Yeah.
that right? So, did we have to discharge medically or?
Yep, I was medically retired in 2015. 40% disability, I think, is what they gave me. I don't know. Everybody I talked to was like, "What? That's all you got?" You know, it's like you were jacked up, and I'm just like, "Dude, that's what they gave me." Okay, I didn't make it up. There's a lot of dudes that go in there and they try to fake the funk. You know,
Right.
I pretty much just went there and told them, "This is what's wrong. This is about my mobility." You know, and they were just like, "All right, cool. You're 40%," and that's what they gave me. So.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I was medically retired in 2015. Yep.
Man, Big Alice sent me some pictures here from cars in Cuba. Talking about Hawaii having a good car scene. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Cuba, I don't think they can import cars, so they have to
They have to
like
learn how to
make
work on 'em,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get
it's
like
all
a
like classic cars.
You
all
have a
classic
Chevrolets
cars.
and
four-cylinder
Oldsmobiles.
Nissan engine in a 57 Chevy.
Yeah.
And it is unreal if you've seen pictures and videos of these things, and they run and they look good. They run like a bucket of hind end, but you know,
Yeah.
hey, whatever. They run. Then
So-
apparently, Big Al's dad was first calf.
Chad said I can admit. Yeah,
Good,
I was first cab also.
Good pick
Yeah.
of
Big old black horse.
yeah, buddy.
So when you say you were medically retired, did that mean they told you you're not I don't want to say capable. You're not physically able to serve, or did they ask you if you wanted to retire? Or would you have been able to do something else in the military?
Yeah.
if you
So
chose to do
basically,
so?
when I was going through the med board process, they said, if anybody in here in this room wants to not be medically retired, there's a separate lane that we need to get you in, and you will reclass. And the Army calls it a profile, which is basically like you're medically limited, or physically limited through for medical reasons.
Right.
And they'll put you in a non-combat MOS, so we're like
Typing
you know,
brigade.
yeah, like you do finance or
Cook.
supply or cook or something like that.
Yeah.
But the Army will keep you for sure.
Oh, that's good.
But I was just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, would they have dropped you down in rank if that would?
No.
Oh, you kept the same?
Yeah, you stay the same rank, but they just basically send you to AIT because you've already been in the Army, so they
Right.
just send you to that school and they train you how to be a cook
Right.
or whatever, finance or whatever it is.
Oh, I like
Keenan Hall sent me a picture. This was us
I like cook.
at Fort Hood. I don't know if I could. I can't really see it.
Yeah, you can't.
You want me to send it to you, Bull?
Yeah, send it to me. and I'll throw it up.
I'm not 100% I was in that. Or no, I definitely was in that one. Cole Rogers is in that one too. No kidding. Hey.
So Chris Ferris says out of 10 years, he spent 5.5 deployed. Is that a
10
lie?
years.
10 years, he spent over half of it deployed.
10 years, 5.5 deployed. That means that he was deployed more than he was home,
Yeah.
unless he was on some sort of like
Air
rapid-
Force. So maybe different.
Oh, Air Force.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's probably
Yeah.
accurate.
Last few deployments were pretty cool in Kuwait. He was a C-130 mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still
Kuwait.
wouldn't want to be there. I'm sorry.
I don't want to hate. But
Chair Force.
some guys say that Kuwait really wasn't a deployment. So
Yeah.
there was a Starbucks and a Subway and like, but it's still a hostile
Yeah.
hostile area. So you could get like the 1 in 1 million round straight to
Right.
the face, but
Straight
Matt,
to
was
the
you going to
face.
send me that picture?
highly unlikely. Yeah, sorry. I'll send
Yeah.
it to you right
Highly
now.
unlikely he's going to send it to you. Yeah, that's what he's
Highly
saying.
unlikely.
Yeah, that's right. So, do you still talk to the guys you were deployed with? Still hang out with them?
All the time.
Yeah.
I went deer hunting with one last weekend.
Really?
Yep. Matter of fact, that's how I ended up here in Tennessee. Was Cole Rogers.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Was there. Keenan Hall was one of the guys that was in my platoon. They were both my soldiers. They were in. Oh, I don't think they were in my section or not, but they were definitely in my platoon. But I talk to them. I talk to them as much as I can. You know, Facebook is good for that. You know, because you can't really talk to them every day. You know, no one's texting their buddies every single day. But it's kind of nice to catch up with them. You know, if you see a post or you see like some significant life event on Facebook or something like that, you holler at them like, "Hey man,
Yeah.
you know, glad to see you're doing good" or whatever. But sometimes the phone calls or the catch-ups don't go as well. Like I've had a lot of dudes. I've lost 2 outside the Army, and there's a couple of guys that I know that I'm pretty sure are locked up for not good things like attempted murder. You hear a lot of stuff. It's weird how it happens because it's all over the United States, you know.
Right.
And like all you know them as is what they were in the Army, you know,
Right.
and they were like one of those hard chargers or one of the guys that was like, you know, would eat a bear, you know, if you asked them to, and then you know you find out that they're gone or dead or in jail or locked up or you know something, or they got a divorce, or like there's a lot of bad stuff that happens after the military.
Right.
You know, it's just I don't know if it's like well, yeah, I don't it's hard to put words on it.
Gotcha.
If you will.
Matt, I got the photo up. Do you want to
Oh, you do?
explain what's going on?
Yeah, so this was this photo right here is the scout platoon in First Cav, 6'9" First Cav, and we were out doing. I want to say we were doing a gunnery or some type of field operation or field training, and it rained. It dumped rain in Texas, and I don't know if you guys have ever been to Texas before, but if you don't like the weather in Texas, wait 5 minutes. It'll change. You either get cold, get hot, or rain, or all three. And we were out in the field one day, and I didn't want to get muddy. I don't think I was muddy at all. But then some of the guys came over to me, and they were like, "Come on, let's play." You know, they were covered in mud, head to toe, as you can see in the picture. And I was like, "No, I'm not getting in the mud because I don't want to jack up my uniform and have to sleep, you know, with muddy britches or whatever." And of course, all of them were all talking smack and talking trash, and I was just like, "All right, let's go." And of course, it got rowdy. It turned into rugby. I'm pretty sure at some point, dudes were getting hit pretty hard, and we just thrashed with the boys, and it ended up being a really fun field exercise. John Powell's right in the middle. That guy right there, JP, Singh. Let me see who else is in here. Swanee's in here. Tim Lilly's in here. John Samuelson. Cole Rogers is in there. Yeah, there's a bunch. I think that's Donnie Schmall. I don't know. I can't remember everybody's name, but good bunch of dudes right here. See this guy right here. Didn't get his uniform wet.
Really?
Yeah, he stayed on the sidelines. There was a couple of dudes that were kind of like,
That's the guy in the corner.
yeah, bottom right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nah, dude, there's a lot of good times that I recall often, but there's a lot of bad stuff that happens too. It's not all good. So, but anyway,
I just remembered I have a picture in here.
you have a
It's not me. It's Levon, my
Picture?
buddy I tell you about.
okay.
That's when he was in Iraq. He's
Bottom right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's him, and that's Undertaker, and Vince McMahon, and Booker T,
Oh,
and
no kidding,
Torrie
dude.
Wilson, and Ray Mysterio maybe or something.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah,
That's Vince McMahon's a big dude.
yeah. But that was
Or not Vince McMahon, the Undertaker. Undertaker's a monster.
yeah,
Jeez.
that we were out here building, and I found that, and I said, Levon, I was like, oh, I forgot. He actually sent that to me.
Hold on. I'll snap a photo of it so I can show
Yeah,
it.
he actually had to, and my stepbrother at the time was in the same platoon unit, something.
Yep.
And there's a picture of them two with those guys somewhere. I don't know if I had it or Levon had it, but that's made me think about the pictures and stuff that
Yeah.
you guys could have back there. So you got any funny stories that happened while you was deployed
Oh man, I got a lot of funny stories, but
that can be told?
yeah, that's the thing.
And everybody, just so you know, the photo to the left of Matt, that is local Levon Moran. And then who else was in it, Travis?
Undertaker, Vince McMahon, Booker T, I think Torrie Wilson, and Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
The one in the mask.
I don't really have any like funny stories, to be honest with you.
Well, it's better not happen.
We had some stupid things, some stupid stories where, like, guys would get drunk on the weekends, and, like, I mean, it wasn't like
Right.
anything different than what, like, regular people do.
Did when you went home, like on leave or whatever?
Yeah.
Did you ever bring home any of your buddies back home to you, like you was on leave? Like if you ever go back to like California?
Yeah.
Because that was a highlight for like me and Bradley and Johnny and Eli when Levon or Galen his older brother Galen would come home.
My buddy Slifer when he
Yeah.
was in the Navy.
Yeah.
They would always bring a buddy, and man, we would end up having like
Oh,
the
for sure. Oh, yeah.
best weekend. Man, it's
Oh,
one
yeah.
guy I remember. We're right around Burger King, and
You're talking about bringing a buddy home
yeah,
from yeah.
We're right near Burger King, and we see Galen in the Waffle House parking lot, and we see this just giant of a dude hanging on the inside of a car, talking to somebody inside the car. He's on the outside, excuse me.
Yeah.
And we're like, God, we pull up. We're like, what's up, man? It's like, hey guys, what's going on? I was like, man, that dude's small. He's like, yeah, that's his name. His name was Eric Smalls.
No
I'm
kidding.
like, okay.
Yeah.
This guy, and Galen was a pretty big guy. This guy dwarfed Galen. He was huge. Cool dude. We had the best weekend ever, man. We partied all weekend, because they were 21, so they could buy us beer.
Oh, yeah, for
so,
sure.
man, we, and then when Levon would come home, he'd bring this guy and he'd bring this guy, and then, man, we had a blast when they come home from leave.
Bringing home military cats was always a blast. Always a blast. Of course, my childhood best friend Brian Lee was also in the Army,
Oh, really?
and he actually was gone while I was home, and then I was home while he was gone. So we were always off schedule. Mm-hmm. We're not friends anymore now. But who did I bring home? Evan came home once. Gabe's been over to our house. Have you met Gabe? You met Gabe.
Yeah, I met
Gabe.
Gabe. Yeah, we danced in your living
Medina,
room.
my section sergeant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun guys, man. And when they come, it's a legit party.
Right.
Like, if a military friend comes home and he's staying with a military friend, dude, it is
on.
going to be on. It is. I'm telling you right now. And if they aren't, then they're probably officers who like to drink wine on the weekends. Yeah.
But now there's a specific relationship between you and Gabe.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, Gabe is. Gabe is a really close friend of mine. He's a special guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
He, I don't think you were there that night.
No, I was asleep probably.
Gabe was on his way to New York last Christmas, I think. His wife's brother is at
Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
they
they're
were
on their-
going to Atlanta.
no, they were
Was it
going on
New
their way.
York?
They were on their way to New
Oh,
York.
was it? Okay, I'm sorry.
What's the big military school?
West Point.
West Point. That's where they were going. He was graduating West Point.
Cool.
Wow.
I think that's where Gabe.
That's some
yeah,
big.
yeah,
that's
he
big
is an
time
a-hole,
stuff.
Angie. Yeah, Gabe's an officer. Gabe's a captain in the Army. Good friend of mine. He was a lieutenant, and he was one of the lieutenants that was in Iraq with us, and he was one of the ones that pretty much never left my side from the time I got injured to pretty much when I got off the plane in Germany.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's
Did the whole trip with you.
yeah did the whole trip.
Yeah.
Carried all my bags, everything like
Wow.
carried all my stuff. Yeah, he and
So that's,
so but he was there. He was there the whole time.
wow, that's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
kind of a different bond there. I mean, that's not like, Bradley hold my hair back when I was throwing up. When I was 21,
Yeah.
22,
Yeah, pretty much Gabe's one of those friends that I've got now that if he asks me to do something,
You gonna do it? Well, I mean,
yeah, legal, illegal, immoral, or whatever, I'm in.
Was that required by him to fly with you back?
No.
Or no, he just did it on his own accord.
He did. He said that he wasn't going. He wasn't going to leave me by myself.
That's pretty
He
cool.
was like,
man.
"You're going to leave this country with somebody you know versus somebody you don't know."
That's pretty sweet, dude.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I don't mean sweet like, oh, that's sweet. I mean, that's a sweet deal. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's really cool. That just came out wrong. That was real sweet.
It's sweet.
Yes, it was.
He was down there. He was lieutenant for old Thunder Platoon. He was Thunder 1. That was his call sign on the radio.
Dude, you can't get a much of a better call sign than
Yeah,
that. Unless it's
Thunder
like
1.
Bandit or Snowman. Then Thunder 1's number 3, really.
Yeah. We were bastards.
Yep.
Bastard 1, Bastard
Okay.
4, Bastard 3. I think we were bastards. I think we got a new commander at some point. He was like, "You can't call yourself bastards. That's not nice." And we were just like, "What? Like who's this guy?"
I mean, that kind of fit. That kind of fits you pretty good.
What?
Bastard.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rat. It was actually short for rat bastards.
I just wish Eli was here to agree with us.
Yeah. Eli would
we-
have had a good time on this one.
Oh, absolutely. You need to go back and watch it. Probably text you all day tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, loser.
Yeah, weak beard.
Yeah.
And everything else.
Still longer than his, I think.
I ain't seen him. He's been cooped up. I
Yeah.
haven't seen him in a bit. So what did it mean for you to serve? Now looking back on it,
That's an interesting
what did it
question.
mean? For what you did for our country.
Well, there wasn't really any, like, in the very beginning. I'd have to say that it was more selfish than anything. I wasn't doing anything with my life, therefore, the Army was just an excuse for me to get away. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Like,
Right.
I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go protect the nation, and like, I was just trying to, like,
Find your way.
yeah, be successful and like maybe learn some type of discipline, and learn how to be an adult at some point in my life, because I was just 18 years old, just freaking off all the time, and that was really why I joined the Army. There was no like, oh, special thing or whatever.
Right.
But however, once I got into the Army and I had enough time in to kind of grasp what I was a part of, it definitely changes you. For sure, it changes you as a person. It changes your perspective. It changes how you view the way that people are supposed to act. It's a huge. It's almost overwhelming when you kind of realize what you were a part of. But if I had to like define what it was like for me to serve, I would say it was a legit privilege. It was a legit privilege, and I'm really glad I got to meet some of the dudes that I've met. Like I said, I got to follow behind some major giants
Right.
while I was in the Army, who I have a lot of respect for. Met some bad dudes too, but for the most part, solid dudes.
And now you're here in the Mecca. of
Now,
solid
yeah,
dudes.
now I'm here in good old Manchester.
And I don't want to, and I know we're probably running short on time too, so I don't want to, and I definitely don't want to turn this into a political deal. But after being around, I mean, you've been around the world. I mean, you've seen,
For sure, 2 times.
you've seen what's going on. Everybody talks in the news when you hear the political debates and blah blah.
Yep.
But you've seen it, so I mean, I would have to guess that's really helped shape your opinion now that you're home and back as a citizen, shaped your opinion. When you, again, I don't want to get too, but like when you're watching the news and you're hearing all the talking heads who are running for office and you're just sitting there going, okay, that's obviously BS. They don't know what they're talking. Or, okay, I can't get behind that because I've been there. I've seen these things firsthand, and they're lying or they don't know what they're talking about. This guy over here does.
Well,
without pointing
You
fingers.
mean when they're
but-
talking about utilizing war or
when they're
conflict with other
when they're
countries,
saying,
Bradley?
when
Yeah.
they're pointing fingers, going, well, so and so over here did this, which was obviously awful. Well, you were someone who at one point had
Yeah.
touched ground there,
So I
so you're
think-
going, well, wait a minute, no.
I think
As
to
a
put
former
it-
military, I know that wasn't awful, or they don't know what they're talking about.
I
that
think to
kind of
put
thing.
it simply and to not get too political, I would
Right.
just say that Americans are comfortable, very comfortable here in the United States, and complacency has set in, if that makes sense.
right.
And I'll just leave it at that.
There you go.
I don't want to talk politics on here. But,
There you go.
But
But it definitely
the
helps
United
shape your
States,
opinion.
The United States is very comfortable, and complacency has set in. And if you know what complacency does to pretty much any topic, there's your answer.
Gotcha.
So, but no, it's definitely shaped me and the way that I see things for sure. But not, I wouldn't say for the worse. I mean, it's
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I would assume it probably gives you a
gives me
little bit
a
a
better
better
idea
perspective
of how the world is. You know,
Yes.
so it's kind of
Well, and to tap in, it's just like that gentleman who was talking about when he found out he was guarding a poppy field, and he said, "I can't tell if that's a pharma truck from America rolling up, or if that's the Taliban
Right.
just gonna grab opium and go sell it illegally,
that's the thing, dude.
or
Like, you
standing
don't-
behind a burning oil rig."
Yeah.
Like, are you protecting our interests? Are you protecting
Yeah.
OPEC? Are you protecting a business? Like, are you protecting?
Yeah.
What are you
Like
protecting?
in my
I mean,
case, I burned poop. You know, like I had to
That's
burn
right.
poop. So it's just
so
like,
who are you protecting
right
when you were
now,
burning
this
that
is
poop?
what my freaking country wants me to do is just
Burn
burn this
poop.
poop down to nothing, and then I'm good. You know, like that's what they need me to do. You don't know what you're doing, man. Like
If you burn poop, you know what you're doing.
yes,
You're burning poop.
acutely. You know what you're doing very acutely. You know, but as far as big picture, you're just a very small little granule of
You don't
sand
know
on a
whose
beach.
poop you just
yeah.
I
burned.
bet you
He
look
could've-
cute burning poop.
Oh, I looked fantastic.
Yeah.
burning
You
poop.
said cuteness.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
I'm sure
sure.
you were cute.
Yeah, I mean,
No
I
doubt.
looked fantastic, basically all the time.
Oh,
so.
especially in that picture we posted on there. We'll post it on.
yeah. I appreciate that, by the way. Bull.
You look phenomenal.
Let me get a couple more Facebook comments here. I want to try to keep up to speed on this.
While you read those, I'm gonna step out real quick.
Well, Chris Ferris wants to know if you did any USO tours. After this, you can go because I got a long story I read.
No, I
from
did not.
Chad. No?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. No, Chris, he didn't get to see any. We were talking about when our buddies would come bring, Levon and Galen would come home, and Bull probably doesn't remember a lot of these because there was a lot of alcohol involved, and Bull was there. I always had a blast when they come home. Chad Gill, he said he went to Spokane, Washington with a buddy on mid-tour leave. It was 2 weeks of craziness. Drunk in the terminal in Denver and got smashed. They got some great bars in Denver Airport. Been there. You been there? You were sober then, though.
I've been there sober and drunk. Jim's been in Colorado for a long time.
That's true. Very true. Went and tried to make our connecting flight. Went the wrong way in the terminal and missed it. Finally made it the next flight. Drank on the plane. Woke up after being passed out. It's the only 2 people left on the plane. His family was waiting for us. Flight attendant walked up to them and asked if they were waiting on 2 soldiers. And they said, yeah, they're passed out on the plane. And then he said they still went out that night at midnight when they got to Spokane. Plowing through, Chad. Plowing through, brother. I told him he could write a book or a short story just on that
Yeah.
alone. I mean, that's pretty good stuff. If he wants me to tell this, I'm going to say it out loud. Went to a club the next night with his cousin, who is like a sister. Halfway through the night, she comes up to me. Let me read this first.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is going a little odd.
Yeah, I'm looking along.
I think Manny's in and out.
Y'all can just read that one. Yes. Sorry, Chad.
A cousin who's like a sister, and halfway through the night, it's like, oh, stop.
Not
no
his
more.
cousin. His buddy's cousin.
Okay.
This is Washington, not West Virginia. No, that's
sheep was brought in. Now.
Andy said you might have looked good, but you probably didn't smell good burning that poop.
No, you didn't.
No?
If you go on my Facebook and you look at my pictures, go under. I think I have an Iraq photo album in there. You can go in there and you look at it. If you look at the wall next to the picture of me burning poop, it is completely black. Mm-hmm. And if you're standing over that, you don't smell very pretty. Let me just put it lightly.
Now that was from Jarhead.
Yeah.
He burned poop in Jarhead
Well, we burned all of our own trash.
because they blew up a. Did y'all ever blow up a? What did they call it? A unregulated cappuccino machine. Cappuccino machine.
No, we didn't do that. We didn't have cappuccino machines. We weren't
What
the
are you
Marines.
doing?
We weren't that lucky.
I was trying to get rid of it. I was scrolling up. I was trying to go to the... And it was from my girlfriend. I can read your message from my girlfriend.
That's private talks.
Okay, private between me and you and her. So, like, in the outpost, they're burning the captain's pee. That was the thing? Because he pee in water bottles and then they had to go burn it.
So the pee, no. We had if you got caught peeing in water bottles inside where we were living, you would get messed up. You would legit get messed up. If you had to pee, get up, go outside, and go pee. We had these things called piss tubes. It's basically like a 4.5 inch, 5 inch piece of PVC pipe, and they just cram it in the ground at like 45 degrees. And it's like maybe 15, 20 foot long, and they put like 10 feet of it into the ground, or maybe more, and you just pee into that. And so after a while, they fill up, right? And like it seeps into the ground. And to clean them out, they pour bleach down them, and the smell is legit. Like you can't stay there for very long. It's hard to finish peeing sometimes because
So the whole desert in the Middle East now is American urine.
basically, yeah. And
It is American soil now.
yeah, for
So
sure.
why did
Soiled.
Yeah, it's
I like where
awful.
she's at,
It's
Alex.
awful. And then of course right next to that you got the poop house,
Yeah.
with the bucket underneath, and you slide it out. That was legit. Yeah.
And I probably can't grasp the scope of how many people are there, but why stick the tube in the ground and piss in it? Why not just walk out and piss in the sand?
I have no idea. No idea.
It's an SOP,
A lot of the times, dude, the smell was so bad, and they were literally full of urine.
Yeah.
From all the Iraqis, all the dudes who were like completely dehydrated from 130 degree heat, and it's like it's hard to even explain.
Yeah.
The horrid smell that those things gave off, and there's like 3 of them right next to each other, and it would stink up the whole camp essentially. The whole
It's like going to a festival.
yeah,
Okay.
times like probably 1 million.
Well,
Okay.
Bonner get pretty
Because
rank.
it's like 10 years of dudes living there, peeing in the same tubes, unit after unit after unit after unit for the entirety of the time that we were there.
That's a lot of
So
units in
how
that
much
tube.
That's
was
a lot of, units.
what's the price tag on you drinking that? All that combined?
The price tag,
Yeah.
there's no dollar amount.
No? Okay.
No.
Just checking.
The answer's no.
Andy Shelton says it's not oil they're pumping out anymore.
No, probably not. There's probably some urine in there somewhere.
Yeah, some urine on the Uranus.
And some doo-doo.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt, my man, I really appreciate you coming on, telling some
absolutely.
good stories. I hope we didn't miss anything. We'll have you back on. We have some more vets.
Yeah,
Why don't you
yeah, well, yeah.
Come
Matt,
back
before
on.
you
and-
go, would you sort of elaborate on why it is important to get vets at and talk?
Yeah. So, recently I've been trying to reach out to different dudes that I served with who I haven't talked to in a while. Some get back to me, some don't, but we never hold it against each other. It's kind of like a unwritten law that you never blow anybody off for not responding to you. But it's a good idea to reach out to your buddies because there's nothing like a phone call or a text message from somebody you haven't talked to in a while that's like, hey man, how you doing? Just a quick, I'm not trying to get in your business or
Yeah.
tell you or brag about how good I'm doing. I'm just checking on you. It's good to get those, because you remember that just because you're not in the Army anymore, you can still check on your buddies, and it's a good feeling. You never know what anybody's going through, and just having that random text message or that random phone call or whatever, it's kind of like reignites a fire that I think veterans lose when they get out of the Army. So.
Do you appreciate it when they reach out to you just out of the blue?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I've Doc Anderson, the medic that was our medic platoon, he reached out to me not too long ago. I think a couple weeks ago. He was like, "What's up, dude? What are you doing?" And I was telling him about the project that I was working on and everything like that. And he was just like, "Dude, this is awesome. Like, let me know if you need any help." And so he's on standby. So he's it's good to reach out to people like that because I've been the one that somebody's reached out to during some low points in my separation period, and it was a lifesaver, needless to say. So if you know anybody, and you don't have to be in the military, if you know someone that's in the military, if you haven't talked to your buddies in a while, give them a shout, check on them, see how they're doing, and just let them know you're there if they need anything.
Right. Now, see, you even active duty, you talk to some of those guys too, like this one.
Oh,
cat.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check on them, see how they're doing, figure out what their plan is, where they're going in the world. Just check on them. Check on them.
Yeah, because you were talking, that was a real interesting thing you brought up. It's phenomenal, everybody who is bringing awareness about the vets.
Yeah.
And you support everybody who's bringing awareness. But for every bit of awareness you could bring, you could actually be making some sort of contact with a vet.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
asking
That's
them,
a key point right there.
Are they okay? Hey, come out. Let's talk,
Make
hang out,
contact.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. If you're
Even-
local to some, for sure, reach out and get together with them if you can. You can't always, especially the guys that are active or the ones that you don't live close to. But if you're local to some, hit them up. Hey, let's go grab a beer. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's good. I mean, just get them out, get them talking, and
Because you don't know whatever's just
they may
buried
be
down.
fine, but they may also, need somebody to talk to also.
Yeah, it's still good to go hang out with your buddy too.
Yeah,
so that's
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Win-win.
That's why Levon, he does the IAV, the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America deal, which helps. I'm gonna say with their mental health, but it helps those guys kind of, get reacclimated to back
Transition,
To,
yeah.
Was that difficult for you getting back? Not saying the deployment part, but just going for such structure all the time, and then boom, you're back to normal life. You're like, whoa, what
Dude,
was
it
this?
it was really hard for me. It was really hard for me. It was really hard for my wife. It was hard on our relationship. It was hard on everything, dude. And I was medically retired in 2015, so I basically didn't have time to make a plan. It was like I started the med board process. 60 days later, you're out of the Army. Find somewhere to go, basically, is
Yeah.
what they told me. It's just like, okay, I own a house in Texas. I live in Texas. I'm about to not have a job in 60 days. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And, of course, they send you through all these classes to where it's just like, oh, all these companies are all looking for guys just like you. When they want to pay you $100,000 a year, no problem. You'll fit right in and you'll be successful no matter where you go. And it's just like, oh, man, this is This is gonna be easy, you know.
Yeah.
Like they're looking for me. Like I don't even have to find them. Like they're just gonna find me. Complete lie.
Yeah.
Complete lie. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why most dudes have a hard time when they get out, because their expectations are super high, and the military has told them, you know, a bunch of lies basically about the civilian world, and they're just like, oh man, this is gonna be so awesome, it's gonna be great, we'll be back at home with the buddies, you know, and this and that and the other. No, it's straight up loneliness. Straight up loneliness. Well, I don't want to speak for everybody, because it obviously it's not the same for everybody, but from my perspective, it was not that.
Yeah.
So it was for sure hard for
Yeah.
me, for sure.
I couldn't even imagine
For sure.
what that would
It
be
was-
like.
it
Well,
was
the whole
different.
Veterans Court, like that's the whole premise of it, is to put veterans who are having substance abuse and societal problems, discipline problems,
Right.
to put them back in that military structure environment
Yeah.
in order to try to help them reassimilate. And so it's very interesting the way Veterans Court just runs it and does it.
Yeah.
Erica Lusk says, thank you for your service. Chris Ferris, I don't know if I said this a minute ago, I can't remember. He says sometimes a phone call or a message is the difference.
Yes, for sure.
Chad
Reach
Gill
out.
is going to get, he said there's a ton of groups that send care packages to soldiers deployed like a pen pal. He said he's had a
Yes.
few great ones. He's going to send me messages and
We
so
got a
we can
ton
kind
of
of
those.
promote them.
We got a ton of those when I was deployed. A ton.
Operation Gratitude, Operation We Care. So if you guys want to reach out to, servicemen and women, hit those groups up. And if you want to
sure.
make a difference, thank them for doing what they do.
And I will say some of the letters that I got from just like second grade classes and third grade classes, or even some of the high school kids that would write letters to us, and they would just say to soldier. It wasn't like anybody specific. They just knew
Right.
that they were writing to soldiers. And basically we would get mail delivered and they would just hand you random letters. Like they weren't addressed to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff that I read in there was cool, man, because like you could tell they were written by toddlers with crayons and stuff like that, saying thank you. And like it's cool, man. It honestly made you feel like you were doing something special, and
that's awesome.
and people cared about you. So
That's great. Chris Ferris also said it's hard to transition to civilian life when you didn't know you were getting out. Real tough sometimes. Chris had a back issue as well.
yep.
So he's
Yep.
I think
Julian
that's why he
Burgos
did
has
that.
jumped on. What's up, Julian? Hello,
Matt-
Julian. How are you?
Matt's a good dude. Deployed with him, and the dude had it hard. Never complained. Well, you should hear him now.
He's lying.
God.
He knows I complained.
Oh, man, that's all he's done all night long. Complain. Hawaii was too expensive. Iraq was hot. Travis is
The
a
pee
weenie.
tubes.
Yes.
Yeah,
The Hawaiians didn't like me.
Julian. Julian was my poo burning buddy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They burn poo together?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess Bulls, you're going to be your poo burning buddy now.
I guess so.
Me and Bradley are out on that.
I mean, yes. Hey,
You've been around poop enough at the farm.
that's right.
I
was
can
gonna
show
say,
you guys how to do it. It's real easy.
Oh, I bet Bradley's.
I'd never say never, but I have not reached the point yet where I have to burn poop.
I mean, poop stinks, but if you ever chop silage,
I have not.
it don't smell very good either.
No. Okay. I don't know what that is.
I just
Now, when we do the agriculture show, when we have the veterans of Hicks Ramsey's farm, I'll fill you all in.
I do know.
Yeah. Break it down for
They
us,
were
man.
chopped. We all stayed the night at Bradley's parents' house there at Green Acres, and Hicks got up 4 o'clock in the morning, bourbon in his Prolix coffee cup. Let's go, boys! Chopping salads today. I was like, what? Chopping salads. Let's go. I'm going home. You not gonna stay and help?
Nope.
No. Went to the house. See, boys. I never once stayed and helped the Green Acres because
Now, Eli did. Eli can tell you all about the farm
Yeah.
life. Eli, he moved in for a while. We turned him into a country boy.
Yeah.
Travis said, "I'm going back to Grand Grands where it's safe and dry and clean."
clean and
Old Granny
warm. That's right at Granny Grands. That's exactly right.
Dude.
Well, Matt, man, thank you for coming on, sharing some stories with us, man. We had a blast. Thank you for your service. I mean, I know I've told you 100 times.
Appreciate it.
Um,
Justine
and-
said the same thing.
Yeah,
That's right, Justine. You better say thank me for my service.
Yeah, like I said, we said it 100 times. And guys, if really, he's recommended this movie called The Outpost. And I was like, I'm gonna watch it. And I don't say he hounded me until I watched it, but he asked me almost every day, "Hey, you watched it? You watched it?" I'm like, no. Then I was watching this episode of Miami Vice, and Crockett and Tubbs got into this voodoo thing with Clarence Williams guest starred on it, and I couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
So after I finished watching Miami Vice, I watched The Outpost, and let me tell you what, man, that's a crazy movie. You know, I was telling him before we started that if that was a fictitious movie, it would have been a great movie. But this was based on true events, and you knew a guy who was over there during that time.
No.
No?
Nobody
No?
in the movie.
No. You knew a guy who was like there.
Similar situation.
Similar situation.
Yeah. Oh, I know a ton of guys
Yeah,
that were.
crazy.
Yeah.
So definitely go watch that if you want to, because I started messaging Matt. I'm like, man, that was nuts. He said, dude, that was everyday life when they were there, and I was like, that's nuts.
Those guys had it rough for sure.
And that was a stupid place to put an outpost.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
But
The Marcus Luttrell, the guy that was the lone survivor, the actual lone survivor, not Mark Wahlberg, but Marcus Luttrell. He was on set during the making of that film, The Outpost. They wanted to do a dedication to the current generation of Iraq, Afghanistan vets or soldiers, and so they asked Marcus, the actual Marcus Luttrell, to be on set to make sure that all the gear, all the equipment, everything was legit.
wow.
And then the dude that played his own part was obviously
Yeah.
like, okay, I was there. So, you know. But a phenomenal movie. Eli Kidder just jumped on. Hey, Eli, if you haven't seen The Outpost yet, man, go and check it out.
What's it on? Is it on
Netflix.
one of the-
I want to say it's on. You can find it on Hulu probably too. And
Yeah, I watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix for sure.
Chad Gill said The Outpost is legit one of the most accurate military movies ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
go check that out, man. Because I was blown away, and I text Matt. I'm like, dude, y'all are crazy. I think that was my thing. I was like, y'all are crazy, and he said, yeah, he agreed. Yes, we are crazy. It was a wild movie, dude. So thank you for your service very much. Thank you for your friendship more than that, but glad you came on, shared some stories with us, man. Had a good time. So looking forward to next time we do a vet show.
Now I'm the liaison for the Everyday Joe Show.
You are the military liaison.
There we
yes,
go, right
sir.
there. Okay,
For the
I got
buy
it.
unit.
Is that, can I get that in an official title, Bull? Please.
It will be a lower third.
Okay,
Sir.
very good.
He's already on it.
There we go.
What's
Yeah,
that?
the buy liaison.
Eli said he watched it last week. It was a great flick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. If y'all haven't watched it, man, check it out, seriously. But thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Bradley Ramsey.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for being here, my brother.
As always,
We
thanks
gotta
for having me.
We got to figure out what we're doing next week.
Just tell me the day before as usual, or at lunchtime the day of. Just
Yeah,
whatever.
I give great notice to Bradley.
I don't care. Said, show up BS with my buddies for 2 hours. It's either that or I'm sitting at home watching TV by myself.
You
So
got banker's hours.
I'd much rather be here. Much rather be here.
Hey, just on a side note too, before we leave,
Yeah,
if,
no.
if anybody has any questions about the military, anybody that has a friend or a family member or anything like that who they can't get a hold of or something like that, flood Travis's inbox with questions that you have, and he can bounce them off of me.
Absolutely.
And then we can
up,
we
you
can
noob?
try to answer some of these questions on the show. You know, maybe you can't get a hold of somebody or whatever. I might be able to explain what they may be going through to kind of give you a better perspective.
yeah.
So
You know what? A segment during the
Thank you, Erica.
intro monologue to where it's like a tip to communicate with a vet today.
'Cause I think we're going to try to do this once a month. So if anybody has any questions, just give them to Travis, and we'll do our best to try to
Yeah, that's a great idea. sir.
Love it.
I love it. Yeah. Chad Gill says, "What's Matt doing? You got a plug? You plug? What are you?
Not yet. I'm working on it. I'm working on a project.
Irons in the fire.
Kind of behind the scenes. I don't want to give anything away yet, but I am working on a project. We're hopefully going to start rolling stuff out here in the next 30 to 60 days and really start getting the ball rolling. So keep an eye out for that. But I'm not going to say anything other than that. But there's definitely going to be something coming from me to veterans, if that makes sense.
When it's ready, he'll be back on here promoting the hell out of it.
Yeah,
That's
oh
right.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But hey, everybody go
You'll
ahead
hear it
and
on here
friend Matt.
first.
Yeah, send Matt a friend request, getting questions, and Chad Gill said the same thing. Hit him up too.
Yeah, if anybody wants to add me or do whatever, ask me questions, I'll gladly answer them
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, he loves iodine.
Yeah, we won't talk about iodine. We're definitely going to get into that one episode, but it won't get us
You
started too
and
late.
Dr. Jay Trussler,
Yeah.
we're going to have a debate.
Oh, for sure.
On this show.
Yeah, I will
we're gonna-
debate him.
We're gonna hit record and we're just gonna walk out
Yeah.
and y'all can
Yep.
talk.
Dr. J, I'm
Yeah.
coming for you, buddy.
Yep.
I'm
Thank
coming
you,
for
Yvette.
He's busy trying to
See,
get on
Chris.
top of his new bed right now. So
Yeah,
he doesn't have time
probably
for
so.
debates.
Yeah.
And he didn't do a very good job of it.
He did not. Neither did
No.
Trip.
Yeah.
No. Hope you feel better, Jamie. Thank you. She says, Jamie Lynn Rogers says, thank you for your service as well.
You're welcome.
They listen to you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
welcome.
being here and doing what you
You're
do.
welcome.
Thank you for your producing.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, cocky.
You're welcome for my service.
Yeah. Well, thanks to throw this highlighter at him. Peanut Gallery over there. Alex McCarthy. Lady A. Yes. And they said we're welcome. Yes. All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Matt, do you want to send us off with an I holler?
Holla.
Pretty